It's probably the closest thing we can get to honestly doing that. It's gonna be like, gonna be rough, like ripping off a band-aid, but for this situation, if we have to save their souls and all that, then yeah, sure, okay, fine. Sigh. Big ol' sigh. Oh, did you just get back? The Saintess was telling me you went to see Nellie. What do you think? Sweet girl, isn't she? That she is. Though, she can be a bit of a handful at times. I'm glad you could keep her company for a bit. Now, just be sure, you get to lit on all your crazy talk, right? No. She treated me to some tea, nothing more. Oh, the stuff with the flower petals in it, yeah? She thinks it's some kind of charm to make it taste better. Okay, that's absolutely adorable. I was a bit curious about that, but I didn't voice it. Girls seem to have a thing for stuff like that. Mell? Could you spare a bit of time for me? We need to talk. Seriously? Oh, sure. Can it wait a bit, though? I had to run a little errand after supper. When I'm done with that, I'll meet you in your room. Alright. You think the errand is... bringing Morgana her meal, presumably? We might be able to catch the three of them opening the door if we trail Mell. It's too big a risk. Yeah, definitely. Mell's already wary enough as it is. I concur. We don't know how the other two might react either. Definitely pleasantly, nicely, in the most, extravagant way possible. Full hospitality, yes. It's best to play it safe. No one's gonna come into our defense if we're caught. Not at this point in time. So we better be off waiting in our room. Agreed. We're mostly just going on, getting an in by probably using the most, regretful person here. And as long as they don't say a word, honestly, like, we still have, I guess, a standing or, like, some foundation. Probably the very second he does fold and, like, step back, though, it'll crumble. Though winter has receded and spring is well upon the land, there's still a sharp chill into the night air. Even with the window shut, the wind still manages to slip through the cracks, making the candle flame waver. Neither Giselle nor I say much of anything, but nevertheless, when she does speak, the sound of her voice, soft and pleasant, relaxes my nerves. The faint sound of her breathing... Breathing? Oh, like, she's literally tied in there, and she actually, like, consciously breathes in there? Okay. I don't know if, like, being, like, sort of have a second mind in there, would constitute maybe breathing, but what do I know about ghost possessions? The faint sound of her breathing reminds me I'm not alone, that she's there, always watching over me. Is it really just, like, a ghost following around, honestly, like an invisible force of her, or, like, she's actually in your head? I can't even tell anymore. When the candle was about half gone, the door swings open, just, what have you told my sister? Sorry it took so long. What did you want to talk about? You didn't bring anyone with you? No, I didn't. Who did you think I would bring? No, I'm just checking. No, I'll get straight to the point. You're afflicted with a great deal of remorse, are you not, Mell? Pardon? I know what you're doing, what you're involved in. I know the girl atop the observation tower very well. Her name is Morgana, and you have her imprisoned in the tower. The door requires 3 keys to open, of which you possess 1. You need her for her miracle blood. How? I came here to stop you. I'm a divine force. How do you know any of that? It's not possible she could have told anyone. Did one of them tell you? No, it wasn't them. I was told all this by Morgana herself. How could she? What I'm about to tell you is going to seem impossible, but every word of it is the truth. I am not from this time! Okay, it's gonna come out anyway, but like I'm slow trinkle anyway. Like very, very slow. I'm a divine angel from the future that knows how your fate will go. I came back in time to stop it. Divine spirituality, come forth. Many, many years after her death, Morgana's soul told me what happened to her. What are you even talking about? She's still alive? You're not from this time? What? Are you mad? Again, how many times are we gonna have this conversation? I'm completely serious. I'm not angry at all. Can you come up with any explanation for how I would know everything I know? There's a single window in the room at the top of the tower. A small, insignificant thing that sits high upon the wall. Entirely useless for communicating with the outside world. In 3 days' time, during the Harvest Festival, Morgana will die. And I must prevent that from happening. Prevent it? To do that, I need your key. Will you give it to me? There you go, talking nonsense again. You know, I warned you not to kick up any dust for your own sake. I guess I didn't get through, huh? I don't care who you are or where you came from. Not the future, the past, or a different dimension entirely. All that matters is that you intend to stay in our way. What, did you think I was just a helpless little boy? Not entirely, no, but you definitely are a bit more remorseful and reserved about that fact, but you have some spunk in you still. I mean, if you didn't, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like do all the things you've done so far. So you're a bit stern or a bit stubborn and tiny bit. They could take my key without any trouble. Well, you'd be right about that. If it was only me, stealing my key and setting her free would be a trivial matter. But it's not only me. The other two, they won't hesitate to kill you. Your life, anyone's life, it means nothing to them. You don't know what they're like. How terrifying they can be. They're killers. I'll tell them everything you told me. I'll tell them you know our secret. And don't come crying at me when they come for you. I warned you. Is that what you want? Will you find the comfort you seek by being their devoted little slave and keeping Morgana imprisoned in the tower? What else can I... If you feel at all ashamed about your part in this, if you want to do something to correct it, then you need to take that step. You can't fix this problem on your own, no, but I am here to help. I'm not ashamed about anything. Don't lie to yourself. Don't act like you know how I feel. What the hell is your deal anyway? You show up out of nowhere spouting all this "I'll save you, I'm here to help" rubbish. Well, aren't we in a church right now? Shouldn't you like know about all this angelic and savior stuff? You should know this. You need to do this for your sister. See, now that's ridiculous. If I wash my hands of this, I won't have access to the witch's blood anymore. Without that, Nellie can't get better. She'll die without that blood. Her blood has no miraculous healing powers. You only believe it does, making it appear to work. You're mad. Morgana's blood is not curing Nellie. In fact, it may very well be killing her. If you keep giving her that blood, Nellie will also lose her light during the Harvest Festival. What? You're standing on the precipice of a horrific tragedy. You're gonna take everyone down with you if you don't turn back now. What are you... All three of you are gonna lose everything the day of the festival. There's only one way to prevent that. You had to set Morgana free. You're insane. If you think I would believe that, Nellie's gonna die? Could you have told a more mean-spirited lie? You're the one who's trying to kill her. I just try to save her. And you're going about it the entirely wrong way. Do you have an idea how lonely your sister is right now? You should be at her side. That's what you should be doing instead of stealing a poor girl's blood. I've heard enough. What do you know? If I lose Nellie, I'll have no one. My whole world will collapse. This is the only way I could keep that from happening. This is my best option. My only option. So no, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep Morgana locked up. I'm gonna keep stealing her blood. Okay, have fun with that. I'm wondering if either Nellie is gonna like just come talk, or you're literally gonna take advice in a roundabout way and talk to her and that whole thing comes up. And I'll hand you over the other two. I'll have them kill you. You'll regret ever showing your face. Oh, hi! Okay, well, speak of the devil. Mell, is that really true? What? Do you really have the Saintess locked up? What? Why? What are you doing here, Nellie? That man told me to talk to you. he said if I didn't have the courage to do it myself, to wait outside his room tonight because he... Oh yeah, that was it. Oh, nice. Manipulation. Well, it's not, it's manipulating Mell, honestly, not Nelly. Just saying straight out. Oh boy. I'm just gonna get the truth from you. You conniving son of a... You were planning this all along. That's a great plan, if I say so myself. Nice one, Michelle. Why would you tell Nelly? Why would you bring her, of all people, into this? Mell. Tell me, Mell, is it true? Nelly, Are you really in keeping the Saintess prisoner and stealing her blood? And you said you would have him killed. I never thought you were such a terrible person, Mell. I can't believe you would do such despicable things. No, you're not my brother anymore. Nelly! I shall go after her. Save. My first thought actually is to go after Nelly, because I don't think just talking to him by itself honestly would work. We have to stop her, bring her back, like make sure that she's fine. But unless like literally like trying to like go after her and like like hopefully it's literally just we calm her down and bring her back, because I'm wondering exactly what we can even do by staying here and talking to Mell honestly to calm him down or not. Nelly! Don't follow me, just go away. Leave me alone. Stop. If you run away from him now, Mell will never come back from this. Then why'd you tell me? Why'd you tell me what he was doing? You haven't said anything, everything would still be fine. He wouldn't be in this horrible mess. If you hadn't said anything, I could have kept on believing in him. Or, oh, maybe we're supposed to convince, Mell himself to actually talk to her. Okay, that probably is more actually it. Probably this is the bad end, I guess. If we can't convince her herself, like, because convince a stranger? Have us, a stranger, convince her? Or someone she's known longer to try to explain things actually better? You shouldn't put faith in your ideal brother, but your real one. The boy in that room stricken with regret. If I hadn't said anything, the facade would have ruined you both sooner or later. No, in truth, the relationship was already broken. You were simply ignoring the spreading cracks. I know on some level you had realized that Mell was keeping something incredibly important from you. The secret was tearing you apart. There's nothing good about this, though. Now we'll never go back the way we were. We can never go back to what it was like when we were kids. Just the two of us, playing together every day, having fun. Everyone's childhood comes to an end. The flow of time is impartial. You cannot fight it. Use fancy words against this kid. Okay. It's still like saying, like being real with her still, but yeah, I know. What you can do, what only you can do, is choose how you change. But... I'll admit, I'm the one who opened your wounds, and now I'm putting the responsibility of tending to them onto you. It's cruel, I know. But if you don't come to terms with Mell and make him withdraw his participation, even greater suffering awaits you far in the future. It's not over yet. You cannot let this be where it ends. The bonds you formed over the years are not yet broken, and you can do what I was never able to. You can still repair your relationship. But I'm scared. Scared that my brother, that my Mell could do such terrible things. Oh, wait, oh shit. Like, I feel like we're gonna come back to Michelle's, I guess his own brothers, honestly, but like, it's probably just because, what was it, Amy was in still close proximity to them. Did she literally, like, after all this time, kept spreading more and more stuff into the point of leading to that bad route, honestly? Like, because, what was it, George's Jorge, I don't even care anymore at this point. It's a whole Higurashi situation where I don't even know what's the correct pronunciation for him. Like, since he doesn't know, but the whole, like, well, technically he does know the cheating thing, but since they never had an actual full-on-one conversation about that and talking about it, it just went on normally and just eroded more and more since you guys never even decided to talk after a while and not actually have a real conversation. It led to him seeing you as not a person anymore. Something is inhuman. So, oh boy. I'm scared that my brother, Mell, could do such terrible things. He could say he would kill you. He used to be such a good brother. He was so kind, so friendly to everyone. It was all a lie. It was all a big act to fool me. No, it was not all an act. There was truth to it. He is a kind-hearted boy, an ordinary young man, whose kindness was twisted by circumstance. And it doesn't matter how good a person someone is. Everyone has potential to do terrible things when backed into a corner. Yeah, definitely. Literally. You think you know everything? I know that much. Nelly, if you want your brother back, you have to act now. Please, you must take action. But I'm scared. What am I supposed to say to him? I don't know. I'll be there with you. You don't have to face this alone. There's more to the story than we've heard. We don't know how he got himself involved in this. And I mean to get the rest out of him. You need to be there to hear it. When I hear what he has to say, I try to say something I shouldn't. If I try to say something that'll ruin everything, you'll stop me? Oh boy, it's gonna be this whole thing. Oh boy. Oh god, it's a weird interrogation thing. Oh god. Oh yay. Well, I guess this is leading more towards a better ending, I guess, since what was it? Mell is probably, if we actually did talk to Mell and I actually convinced him to try to go after her, like she would probably not want to hear it. I guess if he's like that, or he just wouldn't even try to because he's still that grief-stricken or just doesn't even know what to say or do. So yeah. Part of me is wondering if I was told to go after Nelly, then maybe it's bad, even though yeah, the time logically it makes the more sense, honestly. Not even logically, but more emotionally to go after her and try to calm her down. Because probably she trusts us a tiny bit. We just shook in her own faith with Mell. So we're probably the next closest person, honestly, that actually gave that truth over to help him try to patch things up a bit more. You'll stop me? You're the one who told me to open my eyes and face him. You're the one who made this whole mess. It's all your fault. It's all your responsibility. What am I supposed to do if all this destroys everything I have? You said you'd be my brother, right? So be a good brother and help me out here. Promise me, you'll make sure nothing goes bad. You'll do that, won't you? Michelle, just say yes. We won't let this go bad. Have faith in yourself. Faith that you put their relationship on track to get recovering. Promise her. Give her the courage she wants from you. You have nothing to fear. I'll be there for you. I'll help you both. Okay. I'll do it. I'll go back. Thank you, Giselle. Oh, don't mention it. Now let's go see what he has to say for himself. Let's draw back that curtain. Yes, let's. Okay, so Mell, have you calmed down a bit more? Nelly. Mell, what'd you come back for? To ridicule me? I'm not the brother you thought I was, huh? Not at all what you wanted me to be. It's all over. Everything Michelle said is true. There's a girl in prison in the tower. Completely innocent girl. The girl who saved your life, in fact. Go on, tell me how cruel and terrible and evil I am. I'm no prince. Here's an idea. Why don't you make him your new prince? You can do it, Nelly. Ask him. You have your reasons, don't you? You have some reason for being part of this, right? Reason? Yeah, I have a reason, alright. I wanted to save your life. I needed her blood to cure you, so I had her locked up. Tell me the truth. I don't remember much about when the Saintess came to visit, but I do remember a little. I remember her saying she would gladly give whatever she could to the sick and needy. Which means you had no need to lock her up. I'd seen the tale Morgana showed me was true. She really was a saint. Yes, she was. And then, probably from years and years of, this corruption turned her into, I guess, was the opposite of saint, I guess, sinner. I don't know if the exact opposite word for it, but opposite from angel to demon. If you want to be, that black and white about it. Tell me the truth, Mell. Tell me everything. There's nothing to tell. There is, I know it. There's more to her story than just the facts. The things you thought, the things you felt, were all pieces that combined to make the whole story. Isn't that right, Michelle? You're exactly right. You haven't said anything. We could have gone on with our lives as normal. No, Mell, we wouldn't have. I thought so too at first, but now it's not true. Our normal lives ended long ago. Tell me the truth, Mell. No matter what it is, I can handle it. No, Nelly, you can't. A girl like you who dreams of becoming a princess couldn't possibly bear to see how hideous her brother's become. How can I know if you don't say anything, though? That's how it's always been with us. You were nice to me, and that was all I needed. I never looked beyond the surface. I made you my ideal brother, and I latched onto the image of you. You're a kind person, Mell. You really are. So kind you played along with my fantasy that you're a prince all this time. But you don't have to ask for me anymore. I want to know the real you. Warts and all. I'm all done being a princess. I'm just your little sister now, nothing more. Your one and only little sister, Mell. You need to do this, Mell. You need to tell your story. Until you do, we have no way of understanding what you've been through, what you're going through. Oh wait, if I tell you, you lose any hope you had left in me. As Nelly has, you need to release yourself from your own idealized fantasy, Mell. You have someone right here who accepts you for who you are. I know good and well just how hard it can be to have someone dear to you see a side of you that you didn't want to show them. I think you want to get off your chest, though. I think you want forgiveness. Fantasies are not everlasting. They all crumble eventually. Show us the real Mell. Tell us your story, without embellishments or omissions. Mell... Okay. I'll tell you. It's not like I have any other options. Nelly, if at any point you can't bear to hear anymore, so be it. You're free to leave whenever you like. I won't go anywhere. I can almost guarantee you. I pray that ends up being true. Alright, here goes. I wonder if now starts a whole thing where we had to play intermediary now, like verbatim, honestly, with these choices now. The whole story, from start to finish, of how I ended up in this mess. Yep, we probably had to, unless this is literally just a smaller tale, like inside this whole thing, we probably had to find good ways to make choices, honestly, to justify some stuff, or at least shed a different, more positive light, so Mell can, like, what was it, keep going on and Nelly want to keep listening, so, or if not, literally just, I can't tell you better, actually, like, there's no choices at all that they can reconcile with each other by themselves, or, I guess in the story-wide thing, I guess Michelle has agency to help them out a bit more. Can't quite tell at this point. Until around the time I turned 17, My life was mostly uneventful. On days when it was nice out, I would take walks around the house's grounds, sometimes napping beneath a tree. It was picturesque, and you were always there with me. You had the same flax-colored hair as me, but yours always seemed to glisten in the sun, whereas mine is flat and dull. Maybe you should get better shampoo and conditioner this time. You shone like a tiny little dancing sun. At the time, I assumed that was how life would always be. I genuinely wanted to be. Following my 17th birthday, though, I was met with a deluge of changes. First, father fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. With his death came the question of who would be the next head. As the oldest son, normally it would fall on me to take his place. Like, so I'm assuming, like, yeah, the dad was, like, always fated to fall ill and die, like, even in reincarnation and all that, I guess. Yeah, or it was the grandfather, though. Oh, was Mell and Nellie's parents actually still alive around the same time? Like, I thought for sure that when Giselle was around being a maid for the mansion, like, that was, no, that was the grandpa, I think, actually, of the original estate. And then their family moved in. That was it, I think so, yeah. I was 17. By all means enough of an adult to handle things myself. Oh well, that's what I thought anyway. Nobody else did, though. You're still 17, you haven't got enough experience in life, you can't do this, go away. After discussions I had no part in, it was decided that my uncle would be the next head. That they weren't confident I had the spine to do the job properly. I wasn't sure what to think. Part of me wanted to know why nobody bothered talking to me, and part of me was relieved. I'm assuming that, I guess, sort of, you didn't want that responsibility pushed onto you as a relieved, and you didn't say anything, so it kind of cemented that decision in more, honestly. Somewhere inside, I knew I didn't have what it took. So I was more than happy to let someone else take the responsibility. If it meant I could go on my quiet life, I didn't care who they picked. My uncle, though, seemed to have caught on to my apathy, which he did not take kindly to. In response, he formally disowned me. You're not the only one who still had some growing up to do, Nellie. I wasn't quite the adult I thought I was, either. Fortunately, if you want to call it fortune, I was given enough money to live on for a decent length of time, as well as a place to stay. Like, oh, this background actually is really nice. It's really nice. It's really cozy. It was a small house, far from home. His way of making it hard for me to come back. Just to work your way up in the world, come back, honestly, punch him in the face. I was like, I'm better than you now, and just leave. Although, just in the sound of it, because of everything going on, you stayed, I guess, more apathetic or indecisive for a while longer, so, yeah. Not that I had any intention of returning. The best thing to come out of it all was you coming with me, Nellie. So this is our new home, dearest Mell. Yep, so it is. It's amazing how little there is. No big yard, no paintings with them old half-siblings. No vases filled with colorful flowers, no silver bowls full of fresh-picked fruit. But there is you and me. You're not gonna go and say you want to return home in a couple months and realize life isn't as luxurious here as it was back there, are you? There's only one thing in the whole wide world I really need. Oh? Honestly, can live without any shiny shoes and pretty dresses like Mother wears. I don't need composers to come and write me songs for my birthday. As long as I have the one thing that matters most to me, I can do without anything else. Are you saying... I'm as happy as I've ever been. I don't need all that fancy, expensive stuff. We may not have a huge yard, but the sun shines everywhere. Not have a huge yard, but the entire world is your yard. Go frolic in the woods and get lost and come back home. Flowers can grow even without a gardener tending to them. Nellie. I'll do whatever I can for you, dearest Mell. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. My name's Hungry. Oh, yeah, a bit. Alright, I'll make something then. Start off with some fruit jam. Oh, maybe make a pie out of it. Is that the only things you know how to make? What else sounds good? Oh, I'm craving cookies! Not raisins, please, not raisins. You got quite the sweet tooth. You're gonna make yourself sick like that. The food is what caused your illness! That's the first smile I've seen ever since we got here. What? That can't be right. I'm sure I've been smiling. Genuine smile, uh-huh. Nope, you've been frowny all day. Well, I was upside down, the entire day, so, that's why I was smiling all day. Whatever you say. Forget about that stuff at home. We got each other, we can do this. Who cares that we're not rich anymore? We'll figure things out in no time. And then we'll have even more fun than we did back there. Yeah, you're right. It'll work out, dearest Mell. I'll always be here for you. You're yourself an adorable little princess. What more can you possibly need? Cheer up. Thanks. I'm really glad you decided to come with me. Did you really think for a second I wouldn't? I'm your princess, dearest Mell. And princesses belong with their princes. I suppose so. Until that day, I'd never known how good it felt to have someone who wanted me in their life. Who saw me for me. I realized for the first time how blessed I'd always been. I was hardly prince material. I wasn't strong or handsome or regal enough for that. But Nelly calling me a princess gave me the illusion of being worth something. Made me feel like I could always keep on being that richly blessed young man, even this far away from home. While I had been given some money, my supply was far from infinite. I knew I'd eventually have to find some kind of work, some way to support myself and Nelly. I know in the original first story he was planning to be a priest, honestly, from how much he went there. It was like a more passive job, I guess, just reading old records and stuff like that. Like actually being able to learn how to read, probably because of my lineage, honestly. But what is there even to do back then to have a job? Like, it's either you take a hard-working job, like a farmer, I don't know, something more, I don't know, something industrial. I don't know the best word to say it for this time period. Maybe the closest thing to that. I guess closest to slave labor or anything like that for money. Something manual, honestly. But to be quite honest, I couldn't gather the motivation to do much of anything. My whole life had changed so abruptly, so dramatically, and mine just wasn't able to keep up. Yeah, I feel you. Had knocked me on my backside, I didn't have the strength to get back up. I couldn't tell Nelly that, of course, so this is what I said instead. I'm staying home because I want to be with you as much as possible. And she happily took me at my word. I guess, she could easily tell, I'm, just being around you for that long, you weren't lying, technically. It just means, it was kind of the truth. So you're mostly just lying with the truth, so yeah, that's why she couldn't, see that, I guess. Our new life together was quiet and unremarkable. Even so, it was still a constant stream of new experiences for the two of us, having pampered our entire lives. Welcome home, dearest Mell. What'd you buy today? I got a chicken. Is it living, or... Wow, I've never seen one so close before. They look weird. Are we gonna keep it as a pet? I was planning on using it for supper. What? You're gonna cook it? That's the idea. You like chicken though, don't you? Steamed especially, if I remember right. Yes, but it's all covered in feathers and flapping about. How are you supposed to cook it? I forget how you're supposed to, how you're supposed to get the feathers out, but, it's just behead the chicken and then, is it literally? I don't know, what process you do to defeather, honestly, to the point. Is it literally just steaming it, getting the feathers off, and then properly cooking it or whatever else? If I remember, the guys did to pluck its feathers, then cut off its head and drain all the blood. Disgusting. Ew, no way, absolutely not, not a million years. You do it, Mell. What? I never done this before. Oh, God. Well, I'm not, so you do it. All right, all right. I'll bring it to the... Not inside. Do it outside. Ah, the pains of trying to learn new things. Okay. The tweeze. And I never had to slaughter a chicken before. The chefs back home always took care of it. Out of sight, out of mind. God, I hope I don't screw this up. Well, I'm not gonna accomplish anything if I just sit here worrying. I just gotta give it my best shot. Oh, please, please don't put up a fight. Put up a fight. Oh, I can't watch. On the count of 3, okay? The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Slam. Ah! Wait. Come back! It's gone. Did it just escape from your grasp, or like, oh, is it one of those things like you held the chicken down with one hand, held the axe or whatever in the other, and just turned your head away from it? And because of that, you were watching how the chicken escaped? It'd be funnier, honestly, if you did, like, behead it, and then it just ran around and just fled into the woods you can't find anymore. In a morbid way. At first, I was just fumbling about in the dark, constantly messing up everything I tried. But in time, I started getting more comfortable with things, and I stopped pining for my old life. For the longest time, I conjured the memory of the fact that I had once been a noble. I was constantly wondering how I ended up there, why this was happening to me. Nellie had seemed to have adjusted fairly quickly, but I wasn't faring so well. I was surprised, honestly. I figured if anyone was going to have an issue with her new lifestyle, it was going to be her, not me. Back home, Nellie had tended to be, well, a bit of a princess. She was frequently harsh with the Abigail, scolding them for the smallest things. There were times I thought she might be biting her tongue for my sake, but every time it crossed my mind, she would say, "I've got you, dearest Mell, everything's just fine." And it was those words that kept me going. That's sweet. She knew exactly what you're thinking at all times. She's a mind reader, even back then. She's a witch! Oh, dearest Mell, just the most wonderful idea. Would you like to hear it? Sure. What's your idea? We should get married. Oh. Were those thoughts already there? Like, What? You can't be serious. As serious can get. And there's no cereal around here, so you can't tell how serial she is. They were basically married already in everything but name. We can't do that. We're siblings. Nobody here needs to know that. You're getting awfully reminding me of that weird trend online of like making a game out of, are they dating? Are they siblings? They can guess from my hair and eye color though. I don't think we look that much alike. Anyway, whatever gave you that idea? If we get married, then we can be together forever. We can do that just as well as brother and sister. It's not the same though. I want to be official documentation. No one ever says two siblings lived happily ever after. Well, someone should write the stories then. I want to be with you for the rest of my life, dearest Mell. The best way to do that is to get married. But Nellie, I mean, how about this? The next best way to go about this instead is instead of that, Mell puts in adoption papers then. So you're under his guardianship. How is that the next best thing, honestly, right here, if you want to make it official and all that, right? You want that, right? That's way better. What are you so hesitant for? There's someone you pine for? The trees. The fine oak. But then there's no problem. We're blood-related siblings. Does she realize that getting married, it means eventually having children? Everything that leads up to that? Well, unless you don't want to have kids. That goes against the teachings of the Lord. No, she's still just a kid chasing after a fairy tale ending. She's just in the reality of what she's saying. Sometimes, I'm not sure what to do with you, Nellie. So you'll marry me? But right now, I know you need God's word, so we're gonna go to the church and read all these scrolls. Starting tonight, you're getting your own private sermon every night, understand? Bleh! My instruction was as much for my own sake as it was for Nellie's. I'm not gonna lie, the thought did cross my mind that her proposition might not be so bad. For one, I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life with anyone else. I mean, is it literally just because you haven't talked to a lot of people and made more friends, I guess? It could honestly just be that you couldn't see anyone else. It could just be that. It could just be. And it had been her smile that had kept me going when things had been difficult. But I knew that it was a sin. Didn't think I would be able to live with myself I crossed that line. So night after night, I taught her, reminded her that we were brother and sister, that we didn't have to be anything more for her to be the most important thing in the world to me. That's probably the next best thing you can do, although just inside of it, you just emphasize and not actually talked it out, I guess. I mean, it's kind of the next best thing, but like, it doesn't get the heart of the problem, I guess. I mean, she keeps saying that even like years later, that I'm, yeah, maybe she actually should like actually bring it up and talk about it more. And after about our 3rd month away from home, that life began crumbling. Nellie woke up one day with a high fever that refused to break. At first, I thought it was a cold that she'd be over it soon enough. But as much as I tried to convince myself, oh, she'll be better tomorrow, she just kept getting worse. Until eventually, she couldn't even get out of bed. Oh, the music just changed, okay. She had visibly lost weight, and I had never heard her voice so weak and lethargic before. Is there anything you'd like me to get you, Nellie? Not wine. All I want is you to be here with me, dearest Mell. You really should eat something. I'll make something you like. How about a nice, expensive chicken? Oh, did you actually learn how to actually chop a chicken's head off and actually do all that process yourself? Man, I know a few recipes. I think I even said that when going through Higurashi a bit as well. That whole funny excursion, honestly. I need to learn more recipes, honestly. The last one got away, but I won't let that happen this time. Put a giant fence up around where you're gonna chop the head off. I'm not really in the mood for anything too heavy. Oh, okay. Don't you worry, Mell. I'll be better before you know it. Yeah, you will. Just bring some soup. You'll be just fine. Or literally just use a chicken to make some chicken soup. And then cut it up and eat it for later, I guess. Everything's gonna be back to normal soon. Mm-hmm. Watching Nellie grow weaker every day scared the hell out of me. I desperately did not want to lose her. If I lost her, then who would be left that wanted me? Who would tell me I was worth something? Who would say nice things about me? Who would be there with me every day? Just when I started to feel optimistic about this new life, started to feel comfortable in it, it was looking like it might fall apart again. I searched everywhere for some medicine that could cure her. Healthy foods, fruits and vegetables with supposed medicinal properties, the roots, anything I could get my hands on. I prayed, and Nellie, you were overjoyed. You were thrilled to go to such lengths for you. But the reality is, I was really doing it for myself. Becoming selfish by doing selfless things. But as much as I searched, I couldn't find anything that worked, and I started to panic. I would go to bed at night, afraid I'd wake up the next morning, and Nellie wouldn't. I was already grasping at straws, and I was ready to try anything that had even the slightest chance of curing her. And then one day, I heard whispers. Whispers of a witch who lived by the lake. They said she was a recluse, that she hardly left her house, that she hadn't been down to the city in years. I wonder if we actually see a sprite for her. Like, not like the sprite we saw of her where she had a little, like, scabs everywhere on her, like how she looks now. Or how maybe she envisions herself to look now. Like, maybe she even, that's actually what she looks like by the end of it, and she just adopted it fully. Like, the whole thing of, like, people tell you to, like, people that you're this way for a long time to the point you internalize it and sort of just, what was it, take over it, just so you have your own peace of mind, honestly. It could just be that. I wonder if we actually see her in a more, I guess, normal state before then. They told me she might have some medicinal herbs that could help, so I rushed down to the lake to see her. under the large tree. Sitting by the shore was a small cottage, even less luxurious than where Nellie and I were living at the time. Seeing the thin rails of smoke rising from the chimney, I was convinced the rumors were true. A witch lived in that house. I wasn't sure what to expect. Being recluse, I figured she wasn't going to be very social, at least. Maybe not too much, but if she is helpful, then I'm a tiny bit friendly. To tell the truth, I was kind of scared to knock on her door. But I had exhausted all my other options, so I clenched my teeth and gave the door 2 firm raps. Who's there? I can't think of any knock-knock jokes, damn it. The sound of her voice caught me off guard, and all I could do was stare at the door with a knot in my throat. Based on the information I had, I assumed I was going to find a wrinkly old woman, but that was the voice of a young girl. Even though she only said 2 words, there was something indescribably enchanting about that voice. I could listen to her talk for hours on end, in some kind of strange, hypnotic trance. It's almost like magic, for lack of a better word. She really is a witch! I stood there, dumbfounded, like my soul had been sucked from my body. Who's there? She's like, just standing, even they're silent there. She's like, man, maybe I'm hearing things. Maybe I should cut back in the herbs. She repeated her question, which brought me back to reality, though I still had to fight to maintain my wits enough to respond coherently. My sister has fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine. I was told that the person who lives here is a skilled herbalist. Could I please get something to treat her? What are her symptoms? She's got extremely high fever that won't come down. She has no appetite, she's only drinking water, and she can't get out of bed. We're gonna want to lower her fever first. After that, get her a nutritious diet. I'm gonna give you 2 medications. Give her the first when her fever's high, the second after it's come down. Thank you very much. Her voice wasn't bright and energetic like Nellie's. It was more restrained, somber, and quiet, yet simultaneously clear and sharp. The sound tickled my curiosity. I wanted to know what she looked like. I wanted to know what kind of girl stood on the other side of that door. With a voice that pretty, she must be equally lonely, I thought. I had to see it for myself. Bust down door, walk in, sees girl. Oh, nice, walks away. And my wish didn't fall on deaf ears. When she opened the door to hand me the herbal medicine, take my money, her head peeked out from between the crack ever so slightly. I said I would tell you everything exactly as it happened, so I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. It was unsettling. It was nothing like I imagined from her voice. Her skin had, I guess, fallen off or something. I could see the raw, red flesh beneath. I'm trying to think of what happened. I can't. Oh, God. That's probably the thing of, like, I feel even more sad. Like, I couldn't get to this game too much, honestly. Or, like, I got so busy numerous times, honestly. Because now the smaller details are falling straight through. God. I can't remember what happened before, I guess she was kidnapped. I can't remember exactly what caused that to happen. Man. To say it was hard to look at would be an understatement. Most of her face was covered by a black hood, so I could see was her mouth and chin. Even that much was harrowing. So that's what she looked like when meeting, I guess, Mell, Jacopo, and Yukimasa then. Unless, she looked just the same as she did here, but because everything with them keep taking her blood, it just made it, like, a bit more worse than she is now. But the last thing I want to do is look away. Probably knew that was why she became a recluse. I couldn't let myself hurt her, so I suppressed my own disgust and put on my best smile. People often tell me I have a very pleasant, amiable smile, so I figured I could use that to prevent her from picking up on what was actually going through my mind. And when she saw my face, a look of surprise seemed to cross hers. Probably not expecting that, I guess, hospitality or friendliness, so yeah. The witch's herbs did indeed seem to help some. Going to visit her was better than talking to any of the local doctors. Nonetheless, Nellie hadn't been cured. She's only feeling a little bit better. So I kept paying the witch's visits, kept purchasing more herbs from her. And every time I went to that cottage and heard her sweet voice, I imagined how sweet it would sound without a door obstructing it. even knowing what she looked like didn't stop the curiosity from going within me. From what I gathered talking to her, there wasn't much of an age difference between us either. She was 16 and I was 17, only a few months apart. I'm sure you know how it is. When you meet someone around your age, you feel a sort of sense of kinship. This girl I had originally believed to have some kind of otherworldly witch was starting to feel like a regular person to me. This is God, the witch in its purest form, but now I'm overall, like, she's now just the same age as me. Same experience, life experience. Through our conversations, managed to learn her name, as well as the fact that she had come here from a faraway country. We were both a long way from home. Thinking she might open up even more to someone who had been through a similar experience, I decided to try inviting her to go on a walk with me. It's not healthy to stay holed up inside here all the time. You got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline? To my surprise, she accepted. Like, wanted to talk to someone as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's what she looked like, honestly. Normally. Again, I can't remember what something like, I know it's definitely something around when she was like help with the prostitutes, honestly, that brothel, I guess. But was there a fire or something else? Like, was that what caused, I guess, her to be like run out from there? That's the one thing I can't remember. I remember most of her backstory top of my head, but I forget what caused her to move from there to here as a witch in the countryside. That's the one piece of information I can't quite recall. Nice weather we're having. Great weather, isn't it? I love the way the sun reflects off the surface of the lake. It's gorgeous. Are you okay? I'm in disbelief, to tell you the truth. Huh? What for? You've seen my face. You know how hideous I am. And still you invited me on a walk. You're a very peculiar person. Is it really that strange? I mean, we're almost the same age, so I figure we might make pretty good friends. You want to make friends? With me? Well, sure, we've been through a lot of the same things, so we can understand each other better than most. Understand each other? Yeah, we're both young, but we've been through some rough times. I'm gonna be blunt with you. You have not been through anything like I have. What? No? If you experienced the things I have, you wouldn't be smiling right now. I haven't known you long. I don't need to have in order to know how unequivocally dissimilar we are. That we are cut from a different cloth. Well, yeah, we're people, so we're not made of cloth, so... Oh my god, Mel, I swear to god, I thought you were a literary person. How the fuck is this passing over you? God damn it. Unless you are in this time, which is actually even worse. God damn it. That's not what that means, you know. Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so harsh. But I would say you're much better off not being in my position. It sounds like you've been through a lot. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to you? I'd be happy to lend an ear. It might make you feel better to get off your chest. And that is what's so different about us. Huh? I will not tell you about myself, no. That said, I do appreciate the concern. Thank you. Oh, sure, you're welcome. She's not very open with people, huh? Though I guess it's only to be expected. She hasn't spent much time around other people looking the way she does. I wonder if there's anything I can do for her. At least get her to show a little bit of emotion. Like, it's probably just because of that, like, she didn't say anything about herself to you. Like, it also added another thing of dehumanization. The same way, like, just looking like that, and you don't know a thing about her. I guess it made it easier just to do that terrible stuff to her as well. Say, if it's not too much to ask, you think we could maybe do this again sometime? Don't expect me to lower my prices. I'm not trying to squeeze a better deal out of you. I just want to get to know you better. Nothing more to it, no ulterior motives, promise. Did you forget I already said I won't be telling you about myself? Alright, doesn't have to be about you. We can talk about anything, whatever you want. Do you have a favorite food, any hobbies? Nothing particular. Well, that was a fruitful conversation. Nice! Okay. Crap. I have no interest or taste worth mentioning. So if you want to talk, I suppose that leaves you to be the subject. Me? Tell me about yourself. My life's not all that exciting. Anything I have to tell you would probably just bore you. I'm not looking for excitement. Oh, okay. Dang, she doesn't want the roller coaster emotions for stories. Well, alright then, I guess I can tell you about myself. The tale of the Mell roads. The road less traveled. And so I did. I told her about my family situation. I told her about Nellie, and that was pretty much all I had to talk about. For the most part, she hardly even reacted to anything I said, so it took a while to tell if she was listening or not. But she would urge me to continue whenever I'd go quiet for more than a few moments. Suppose she was listening. Every time I came to purchase some medicine, we would go on a walk around the lake together. A single loop around the shoreline didn't give us much to talk, but my attempts to reduce our walking pace and start to extend our time together were flatly ignored. Only one single loop around and it's back to the lake we go. Nothing else, nothing more. And she just refused to go around more than once, claiming it would disturb her daily rhythm. That said, she never refused an invitation either, so I don't think she particularly disliked me. Yet, anyway. That's in the future. Oh, a robin. What does a robin have to do with your sister? Nothing, I just saw one over there. If you listen, you can hear it singing. They migrate somewhere warmer when it gets cold. They just fly out to someplace more comfortable. If I had wings like a bird, maybe I could be free too. There is not a single creature living in this world that is free. We're on the cage of Earth if we're gonna go that pessimistic. Birds regularly get shot down by hunters or preyed on by larger birds. The idea that they are free is nothing more than a man's short-sighted delusion. Like a rarely friendly talk. It's actually kind of funny. And kind of fun. Oh, sorry, I guess. No, I should be apologizing. I wasn't trying to attack you. I simply lack the ability to properly empathize with others. I do not understand people. So please, if I say something that upsets you or makes you uncomfortable, don't assume that was my intention. Sure. Maybe you're hiding it, or maybe you just don't know it yet. But I think you got more empathy than you're letting on. Surely you can't say nothing affects you at all. You are human. Indeed. So you don't have to be so closed off. I may not be able to do much for you, but I do want to get to know you better. I want to understand you. So if you feel like talking about yourself, just know that you got an eager pair of ears here. That's all, like, all the ears all up and down his body now, just growing out of nowhere. Here all around. Okay. If there were someone who could understand me, who could empathize with me, they would not be human. What do you mean? That you would need to be far removed from any idea of humanity to have a chance of understanding me. Regardless, I do appreciate your kind words. Sure. So, out of curiosity, do you have anyone really important to you in your life? Not in the moment. Does that mean you used to? I'd love to hear about them if you don't mind. They're all long dead. 4 years ago, something unpleasant occurred. As a result of that, I was forced to part ways with the people who taught me that humans have the capability for kindness. Oh, I'm sorry. I wonder just from how everything is like, she's like forcing to see herself as more of a monster than human. Not even just from what she experienced, but also just, you know, from her own appearance. I guess anyone insulted her for it, honestly. Well then, if your sister's condition worsens again, come see me. Farewell. Hey, maybe we can walk a little slower next time, so we have more time to talk. I want to get to know you better. I'll consider it. Does it really require that much thought? Yes. Yes. After all this time, the trauma does things. They need to go at their own pace. So long. Oh, bye. See you soon. Things continued on like that for a while. Nelly bounced back and forth between getting better and getting worse. Just a Schrodinger's fever. Emotionally, I followed not far behind, getting very little in the way of peace of mind. Having to spend so much time worrying over and looking after Nelly was starting to wear me out. Even though I knew good and well she had it much worse than me. I wanted to be done with it all. I wanted to be free. Oh, that's okay. Now that's truly relatable then. God damn it. There's like some aspects to his own story which are a bit relatable, honestly, so I can actually relate to it a bit more. Some parts, anyway. I wanted her to get better as soon as possible, so I could stop agonizing over her. At some point, I started wishing for a miracle. I didn't care if it came from God, an angel, or something less holy. Well, look at this, Michelle is nearby here all this time, but like way many years removed from now. Too late. I just wanted someone to cure Nelly and take the weight off my shoulders. During one of her walks, I let that slip. I'll take anything at this point to make her better. I would take a miracle if I can get one. I assumed she would, as she had a tendency to, say that people who believed in miracles were delusional. She was, in my mind, very much a realist, which is why her response surprised me so much. On a new, blood diet. Do you sincerely wish for a miracle? What? Do you truly want a miracle, no matter what form it may take? Well, yeah. Tried everything else. God is all I can ask for help anymore. I know what you're gonna say. There's no such thing as miracles. If there were, Nelly would already be better. I prayed every single night for her recovery. It's all just delusion. I know. Miracles do exist. What? If you have faith and sincerely wish for her to be healed, you'll be granted your miracle. I mean, I heard like a better way to put it, like I've seen people make like in other games, honestly, talk about this kind of stuff. Like, it's not that miracles just happen, you just make the miracle happen, I guess. Well, not be as miraculous as just suddenly, oh, you're miraculously healed and all that. Like, you can tell a whole bunch of circumstances just from what you've done, whether it's just positive or good choices, honestly, led up to a favorable outcome. And that's what the good miracle honestly is. What are you talking about, Morgana? You said many times that you wish to know more about me. Yeah, I have. Well, I'll grant you that wish. As you listen to my story, you'll come to understand why I said you would never be able to empathize with me. And as you do, hope will sprout up within you. Here in my lakeside cottage, I'm known as a witch, but I did not used to be called such. No? I am the daughter of God. Probably another reason why she didn't want to talk about herself too much. If since she believed that, but thinks everyone else just call it crazy or anything like that. So yeah. Most people would dismiss such a claim as madness, and I almost did exactly that. There's something strangely enchanting about her voice, and I found myself slowly drawn into her tale, listening intently to her every word. The more I heard, the harder it was to believe she was lying. For long, I was convinced she was the daughter of God, a saint whose blood has miraculous powers. Her first cry ended a lengthy drought in the village where she was born, and her blood cured the sick. She rode up one sleeve to show me her arm. Practically every inch of her skin from her shoulder to the tips of her fingers was scarred from where she'd been cut. According to her, the scarring had been once far worse, but she improved with the application of ointment. Every single one of those scars, she said, marked a person who had sought her blood. Yeah, especially back in this time without syringes or needles. Honestly, you can't really do the same. Actually, it would be God. Like, when doctors, like, get blood, honestly, is it better to get blood from the same spot or, like, somewhere else different? Because, probably, like, if you just have to keep cutting, honestly, on your skin, obviously it'll cause a lot of scabbing. And if you keep doing it at several different places, it's not going to heal as properly. Because then the body would have to, like, contend with trying to heal so many different places all at once, so it'd just be stretched thin. And I believed every word. There was something about her that sent her apart from the rest of us as normal people, like she was some higher being. They were not self-inflicted wounds, not the marks of someone who had tried to take her own life, but symbols of the great sacrifices she had to make. She offered to give Nellie her blood. Without a moment's hesitation, I accepted. And that's when she started coming here to Nellie personally to do that and actually give it to her. Mell? Hey Nellie, I'm back. I brought someone with me. A saint. A saint? Yep, she's here because medicine has been working for you. And yeah, especially with the black hood and clothing, honestly. If that's all Nellie actually remembered, she would honestly see him, a normal nun with a similar attire in a sense. And just, obviously mistake the two, obviously. She can perform miracles, so she's gonna cure you. Miracles? That's right. Her blood has miraculous healing powers. Blood? Fear not, my beloved sister. Hear my words and do as I say. You must have faith in the miracle to be performed correctly. I give you my blessing, that I may bestow upon you salvation. I give you my love, and I give you relief. Hear my words. I hear them. This body was created not in a mortal womb. This flesh is not the flesh of man. This blood is not the blood of man. The water flows through these holy veins, flows in the river of creation. Have mercy on them, O Father. May the infirm find comfort in their warmth. May the destitute find reprieve in your generosity. May my flesh bring nourishment and health upon this girl. Bestow upon her your blessing, O Father. Morgana held a pale hand above Nellie's mouth and, without hesitation, sliced her own wrist. Oh, it had to be there, nothing else. Blood slowly trickled down her middle finger from the cut, dripping into the gap between Nellie's bluish lips. Oh, Jesus. I stood there entranced with the scene. It was like I was witnessing some kind of ritual. Yeah, kind of. It's kind of what it is. I wasn't sure, however, whether to describe it as sacred or profane. Watching the fresh blood trickle from the cut on her wrist made me break out into a sweat, feeling like it was violating a taboo. My knees rattled, I could barely stay on my feet. Needles prickled my hands, thoughts slipped through my fingers before they could fully form. Had I crossed a line that wasn't meant to be crossed? Had I stepped into a territory man was never supposed to enter? I don't even that thought of him doing this blood ritual, honestly, would, I guess, be another step into him doing the whole worse and worse things, honestly, as time goes on. In time, I stopped processing Morgana's prayer as words. It became nothing but a rhythmical sequence of sounds bouncing around in my head. My line of sight grew gradually narrower. What? Are you alright? The ceremony is complete. Oh, how's Nellie? She's asleep right now, but she should awaken soon. Oh, good. My blood has the power to cause miracles, but you must remember the miracle is predicated on your faith. So are you saying we need to worship you? No, I am merely God's progeny. Your praise and prayers should be directed to my Father, the Lord God. I should get going then. Wait, hey, you want some chicken? You gave some blood over to my sister. How about some blood from chicken, honestly? I mean, I know there's a whole thing as well of him, I guess like blood from another person and cannibalism obviously is taboo in a sense, but like there is definitely a whole thing of like eating actual other animals, like sometimes their blood for meat, for steak, and that is like normalized. So, I wonder, like, besides, I guess, like, the obvious thing of don't eat your fellow man or, like, kill them, honestly, for, like, food or sustenance, all that. Anything that caused the whole thing of a cannibalism and, like, the taboo with this whole thing. I wonder what else is I guess, the reasoning to, everyone just, like, irks at it. Like, gets an ick from it. But, like, besides, I guess for some people who are skittish about actually the killing of animals and eating them, honestly, in some capacity, like, what causes that sort of discomfort, honestly. Thank you very much. When Morgana had said I would never be able to understand or empathize with her, she had not been lying. Having only heard her tell of it, I'd still believe there was room for me to close the gap between us. That we still had enough in common. I mean, like, honestly, besides anyone who had gone through worse than her at her time, who'd be the next best person, I guess, to, like, sit down and actually talk with her and actually understand her, like, be a friend, honestly? Who would be the next best pick? But seeing with my own eyes, feeling it with my entire being, I no longer had any illusions of us being in the same plane. As I gave her my thanks, my voice was audibly trembling. I mean, like, I won't, like, lie and just say, like, even before I played this game and, like, I've been rereading it as this Let's Play's going on, I've been seeing, like, another, like, fanfic of, like, Harry Potter, like, go and actually discuss about blood rituals and stuff like that, like, other forms of magic. Especially the whole thing of what was it? The Fae and house elves and brownies and all that. Like I mentioned a couple times before. Like talks and brings that up. Again, it's one of those weird things. Like abruptly me finding something and enjoying something online. Coincides with another game going through it, so I can bring stuff up here. Although I haven't really brought up until now. Just I don't know for whatever reason. Like it was interesting. There's like a fanfic called New Blood if anyone's interested in, honestly. Like, Hermione is the main protagonist since being sworn into Slytherin, honestly. I won't say much more than that. Like, that's probably one of the probably biggest things, honestly, as a hook, honestly, goes. And there's more as it goes along, actually. It's a big, long retelling for the Harry Potter books, I'll tell you that much. It was great. But yeah, like just hearing, like, from that fanfic and, like, seeing it all to here with other kind of blood ritual and stuff like that. Like, it's definitely giving me more food for thought onto it. Mell, come on. Get up, dearest Mell. Oh, Mell. Mell. Nelly? Finally, you're awake, sleepyhead. What's with the look? Am I making a funny face? Are you good to be up and about? Yep, I woke up this morning feeling wonderful. Feel my forehead, Mell, see? No fever. I wonder if it's ever come up, actually, like, what kind of illness she does have, I guess, realistically. Because I can't even begin to recall, honestly. Whether she's actually just that weak and frail, and, like, the second she got a fever, like, she hasn't been fully able to get rid of it because her body, up until, I guess, she died, whether or not the blood actually, slowly, actually unintentionally poisoned her or not. Like, she just kept dipping in and out of being healthy, sort of, but still the fever along. Was actually just a fever or cold that just kept dipping in and out over the years, or something else going on. It's gone. She actually performed a miracle. I remember bits and pieces, but I remember a really pretty saint lady showing up. Give me her blood. That's how she remembers it? Her memory is pretty hazy, huh? And then I got this warm and fuzzy feeling inside me. Then I had this really strange dream. What kind of dream? There were a whole bunch of lights floating all around me. They were changing into all sorts of different colors. It was the most wonderful dream. That doesn't help me understand at all, Nelly. Like, just seeing all the pretty flashing lights, honestly. Oh shit, you're that close to seeing the other side, honestly. Don't go to the light. See the lights. Enjoy it. Wait, you saw more than one light? Oh my god, there's no just one single light, honestly. That means not going to afterlife. You're seeing many different pathways into the afterlife. There's so many other different versions, honestly, out there. Or different dimensions or whatever else. It was a good dream, and that's what matters. It must have been the Saint Lady's power at work. It must be, yeah? I'm so relieved you're feeling better, Nelly. Sorry for all the trouble I caused you, but now everything can go back to normal. Yep, all back to normal. Back to normal walks, but also with the blood stuff all spiraling now, yeah. Yeah. She wants to thank me. Yeah. Nellie's insisting I let her meet you so she can show her gratitude. So if it's alright, would you mind coming to supper sometime? That would probably not be very wise. Huh? Why not? It would hardly be pleasant having to eat in the presence of a face as grotesque as mine. I doubt your sister would react well to the sight of it. I don't think it'll cause any problems. Nellie isn't the kind of girl to judge someone by their looks, I don't think. Perhaps not, but to her, I'm a saint, not a normal person. In her mind, she thinks I'm beautiful, doesn't she? Yeah, and probably that with all the talk about, I guess, the prince stuff, like, probably would sway that a bit too more, honestly, yeah. You must maintain that illusion. It's essential to the miracle that her faith remains unwavering. On some level, that faith depends on her idealized image of me. You think so? Though our time together was brief, I could see it in her. She's a girl with a great love of beauty. Perhaps the same could be said of you. I don't judge people how they look. It's what's inside that matters. I'll take you at your word then. Thanks. So, are you sure you don't want to come to dinner? I really shouldn't. I'm terribly sorry. Oh, okay. Why in the world am I feeling relieved? Oh god. It's only after she brought the whole thing about idealized images and all that, and beauty, honestly, that changed your mind, honestly, that makes you now think, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe I shouldn't let her come. I'll still extend the olive branch anyway, because I'm being nice, but oh, thank God you didn't come. I wonder if just because she said that is why he's so relieved, honestly, and not the fact of him, that whole thing. Yeah, it does sound like him, it could honestly just be like, as I said before, like, he just pushed down his own disgust, actually, of her, because of, like, what she looked like, but makes you wonder if it's really just because that whole thing she brought the idealized image thing. Yeah. Nellie recovering was a huge weight off my shoulders, and everything could go back to the way it was, quiet and unremarkable. I could finally go out and get a real job, forget my old life, live like a regular old commoner. That was what I was going to do, for the both of us. The problem was, Nellie hadn't actually recovered completely. She was in nearly perfect health the first few days of drinking Morgana's blood, but soon her fever came back. She stopped being able to get out of bed, and to top it all off, she started having lengthy coughing fits. During some of them, she coughed up little bits of bloody phlegm. Nearly had a panic attack. So I rushed down to Morgana's cottage and told her what was happening, to which she responded with a quizzical tilt of her head. Nellie's health meant everything to me. Something wasn't the curiosity her head tilt seemed to make it out to be. It didn't seem to bother her at all. And kind of like that led to more and more. Yeah, it's like, as she's saying here, the miracle took place but didn't persist. Like, just led to more and more. Well, it's mostly just going over the going in depth exactly how the situation came to be. We heard Morgana tell her broad tale, honestly, and here's like going the more smaller details of it, at least on the other side. Like, I will say, like, again, like, it's definitely interesting. Like, it definitely very much is. But also, like, in some capacity, it does feel just a tiny bit boring. Or, like, not as interesting as much because we're just seeing the same story being played on different sides, but nothing too much different is happening. Like, Gosh, like I know in Higurashi is the question and answers arc, which do the whole similar thing, but even though they cover similar topics, like to answer some questions in the questions arcs of all things, like at least the narratives and the answer arcs were a bit like different enough to have some bit more intrigue to see where I was going. Even when things are like verbatim the same, like how different things were, or just seeing a different side to it, like gave more intrigue, honestly, interest, honestly, to keep going. The miracle took place but didn't persist? That doesn't make any sense. But it's true, she can't get out of bed again. And it's not a problem with her faith. I've been teaching her the word of God every night. And she absolutely believes in you and her saint. Lower your voice. I perform another miracle for her. You'll do it again? I will not forsake those who are in need. And it'll stick this time, right? I cannot promise anything. But why? Your miracles aren't supposed to be temporary, are they? Whether they are or not is decided by you and your sister. You're my only hope, though. Please, do not worry. The second blessing is not enough to cure her of her ailment, but I will visit and give her my blood as many times as necessary. I will gladly give her every last drop of blood in my body. I assure you, my father does not want to see two young souls like yourselves torn apart. And neither do I. We should get going. Alright. And so began the ritualistic visits and bloodletting everywhere. For the second time, Morgana had let Nelly drink of her blood. For the second time, she was healthy again the next morning. And for the second time, she fell ill again shortly thereafter. Her fever returned. I went to get Morgana. She gave Nelly her blood. Fever returned, blood, happy, sad, resting in bed again, blood, repeat on and on, over and over. It's like repeating again and again. And every time, I had to watch her go through that ceremony. It was exhausting. Like, did you just stop paying attention to the very first ritual, or did you actually pay attention to what she said the second time, honestly? Because you did say, like you weren't like fully like listening to her words. It just became rhythmic syllables, honestly, you couldn't comprehend as the ritual went on. And I wasn't sure I could handle it much longer. I started thinking maybe there wasn't anything sacred about any of this. That it was as blasphemous as it looked like from the outside. I was making a girl cut her own wrist and feed my sister her blood. Nothing about that sounded right. I had nowhere else to go and no one else to ask for help. When I was with Morgana, listening to her words of reassurance, she, without fail, wiped away all the doubt I had. Oh, was there a thing of, like, again, of, like, you sort of believed in her words of bloodletting, but also the fact of him, kidnapping her and, like, doing the same ritualistic thing over and over again, you're also believing if she was a con man, honestly? That gave a little bit of a justification for you to do this horrible stuff to her, honestly? I won't lie and say it is definitely weird. Like, even now in modern times, I guess. But yeah, we're just mostly just medicine, research, and all that. But, that could be another aspect to it. It wasn't until after she left that the wave of regret hit me. I wasn't sure what was right and wrong anymore. I wasn't sure what to do anymore. Every time I went to see Morgana, it got more and more difficult to look her in the eye. I stopped asking her on walks as often. I stopped trying to have chats with her. Not so much as a sense of guilt, but because I was getting to be afraid of her. One of those draining days, someone knocked on the door. Okay, now this is, if this is like either Yukimaz or Jacopo, then this is where more the intrigue comes into play. Just how they met, and actually they got together then. Oh boy, are we actually going to hear more? Are we just going to, if we want to get to Yukimaz and Jacopo, we're going to just get their, like, albeit, I'll just say, like, sort of exhausting, same size, the same exact scene. Like, sometimes, like, I mentioned before, of, like, that's the one thing I don't like about this game so much, as mostly just it's good they're giving all the little details, but sometimes I wish they kind of sped along a tiny bit and not go into all like, every manner of details. Unless there's something about it I'm missing, like, it feels a bit excessive sometimes. I hadn't asked Morgana to come down that day, so I wasn't sure who it could be. Nellie was asleep in her bed, so I quickly arose from my seat and made my way to the door, trying to wake her. Who is it? Hello? Who's there? Dishes. Dishes who? Dishes a very bad joke. There's not a joke for you. I had an inkling of a suspicion, but having been raised in such a sheltered environment, I didn't understand exactly how dangerous it was to thoughtlessly open the door to anyone who came knocking. I pulled the door inward a couple inches and tried to take a peek through the crack. When out of nowhere, someone grabbed my shoulder and shoved me, helpless to resist, into the house. The man stood there above me. Hi. What do you think you're doing? What do you want from me? I don't have anything valuable. I'm just a regular old peasant. I'm not here to rob you. What? You're in contact with a witch, are you not? Huh? The girl who lives by the lake calls herself a witch. A witch? I don't know any witch. The only one who lives there is a saint. A saint? I was told she was a witch. Regardless, there's a girl who lives there with miracle blood, no? Oh. Looks like I got the right person. What do you want from me? I want you to help me. Huh? I need you to lure the witch out into the open. And why do you need that? Because I need her blood. I need to get my hands on the witch's miracle blood. Then go ask her for it yourself. Why should I have to help you? She won't open the door for me. But you? I've seen you talking to her. You seem to be quite friendly with the witch. Taking little walks from the lake. How? I need your help. And what are you gonna do once you have her outside? I have orders from the Lord to take her captive. What, the Lord? Why would he? That's gonna be interesting to hear from him, hear from Jacopo's side then. Because again, yeah, just like this, it's mostly just being in the dark from him as much as possible. Yeah, it's just good. Slowly just hear all the stories and little bits of details going up and slowly a bit up the ladder. That's none of your concern. You ready to buy that? All I need from you is to get the witch out of the house. Why would I? She doesn't trust me. I could always force my way in, but there's a chance something might go wrong, and I can't risk that. She hears your voice. She opened the door, yes? The witch trusts you, unlike me. With your help, there's no risk of anything going wrong. No, You barge in here and tell me you want to capture her, and you think I'm gonna agree to help? Like hell I will. Now don't worry, you'll get your share. You need the witch's blood too, right? I don't care about getting a share. You're asking me to deceive her. I don't care what you think she is. She hasn't done anything wrong. So no, I won't help you capture her. You leave me no choice then. What? He approached the bed where Nellie slept. Oh, so it's literally just blackmail that way. Either help me or Nellie dies. Oh, I see. Drawing his sword and pressing the tip against her throat. It happened so quickly without a warning, my mind couldn't keep up. I stood there, mouth half open like an idiot. If I were courageous, if I were gallant and brave, then maybe I would have grabbed him, pulled him away from Nellie. My legs seemed to be severed from my mind. They were frozen to the floor like two useless rocks. You have two options. Either you say no and protect the witch. Get away. Or help me capture her. Get away from her, right now. We choose the witch, I kill the girl. Get away. Make your decision. Get away from her. Give until the count of 10. If you don't choose, I kill the girl. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, I'll do it. I'll help you. So get your sword out of her face. Don't kill her. I thought you hold on to the last second. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get going. Ugh. Get moving. You pitiful little boy. I felt like jumping into a lake. Well, there's a lake right there. You can't do it right there. I couldn't make sense of how I ended up in such a position. It's probably just from whatever those two were dealing with, honestly. And, like, yeah, sure, like, you definitely helped cause it all to happen. Like, they definitely have more blame than you. But honestly, yeah, you know, I don't really like the three of them too much, honestly. It's still sort of tragic, like, a bit tragic, honestly, yes. Honestly, like, unless, like, I'm more wondering how they're gonna give, like, more sympathy to, Yukimaza. Like, Like, it could just be, like, I wonder what led to the whole thing of him, like, is he an assassin or anything else for hire or whatever else? Like, why is he, was he, like, is he a soldier or anything else? Like, he doesn't have bloodthirstiness, honestly. It could just be, like, normally how it is, honestly. But, like, I'm wondering, like, I know there's ways you can do that, but I wonder how the story is going to go about and make it more sympathetic. Or they're not going to try to make it sympathetic at all, but be a bit more understanding in a sense. I'm definitely curious how, I guess, like, him and, the nun in this time actually grew close together. And maybe, like, that was the reason why, like, they're, like, Yukimaza's doing this. So is it literally just a whole thing of him, I'm doing this to protect you, and then just going down the whole list, honestly, slowly? I mean, like, for the sound of it, Maria and Jacopo's end doesn't seem like someone who need protecting. That's probably just her more, very sharp, independent, and a manipulative side to her doing that. So I'm either wondering if she was manipulating Jacopo in a sense, or literally she, like, again, and that's door 3, honestly, is extension of that, where she felt like she was used even as a friend before, then tried to do all this in a sense. So again, Just a few months earlier, I had been living back in my family's estate, hardly a worry in the world. Nellie had been healthy and happy. It hadn't been exciting, no. I figured that was how things would always be. That one day I would fall for some noble girl. Nellie would get jealous, and I would have to spend several days or even weeks pacifying her. Everyone would be happy, a life free of troubles, because that was normal, and I was normal. Okay, I'm getting flashbacks again to Coffee and Andy Lele, god damn it. So what was I doing living in some tiny cottage so far from home, feeding my sick sister miracle blood? What was I doing walking beside this barbarian? What was I doing at all? I was conflicted. Part of me hoped we would never arrive at the lake, and part of me wanted to get there as quickly as possible so I could be done with all this. But time plodded on no quicker or slower than normal. I arrived at Morgana's door in short order, irrespective of my own selfish hopes. The thought of what was going to happen next filled me with a crushing sense of guilt. I may have been afraid of Morgana, but I had no grudge against her. I was actually quite grateful to her. She was still healing Nellie, even if the ceremony to do so inspired fear in me. I mean, you could have also just said, like, it wasn't going to work, so to stop that, go back to herbs, I guess. You could have done that, but And she didn't hesitate to cut her own wrist open for Nellie, and for me. She didn't grimace or even frown, though I knew it had to hurt. I knew damned well she wasn't a bad person, that she hadn't done anything to warrant being taken to custody. She might very well have been a genuine saint. But there I was, selling her out because a man with a sword threatened me. Oh, Father who art in heaven, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. Please, please forgive me. Ugh, quit sniveling. You want her to get suspicious? But how? Can't you? No, please, oh God. Duh! Stop crying. Or would you rather I kill you here? Oh, God. Just close your eyes, it'll be over before you know it. Do it. Call on the witch. Ugh. And so the rest is history. Oh no, we still get details about it. God damn it. Who's there? It's me. I'm not here about Nellie today. I'm sorry for being so distant lately. I want to talk things over. I thought I heard a faint gasp at the door, and then she responded, I want to talk to you too. Why? Why'd you want to talk now? She's always been so curt, so rational, so quick to cut down my fantasies. Never want to get emotional or sentimental. She's always given off the impression of being something greater than we mere humans. Always been so aloof, never giving any indication she thought anything of me at all. So why? Why did she sound like a normal girl now? Why was her voice trembling slightly when she said she wanted to talk? Again, because you haven't talked to her a while, but you weren't gonna, I guess in a way, grow up and actually try to tackle that, but yeah. Why now of all times? Because you wouldn't do it sooner, I guess. Open, crashed in, all that. Yeah. I'm not gonna do all the different noises, honestly, them again. Because they do it a lot, and yeah, it's gonna drain me a bit more. God damn it. Yeah. Get back. No. Stay away from me. No. Help! Don't kill me. Yeah. Take it. What? That's your share. Should last you long enough. Why? Why? Why did you take my arm? What do you mean by share? What? Why? Why? And so you ran. It all happened in less than a minute. I told her I wanted to talk, she opened the door. Let her sound like the wind whipping past my ear. Next thing I knew, her collar was covered in blood. Slam, slam, cut, sever. Never once did I expect anything to happen how it did. When he said he wanted to capture her, I took it to mean exactly that. I hadn't thought he meant he would turn brutal. He would do something so horrific. The man cut her arm off. Morgana tumbled to the floor, floundering about as he watched, blood trickling down the curved blade in his hand. Her screams were indistinguishable from those of a normal person. Her arm. There's so many conflicted noises coming from him. Kneeling in the grass at the lakeshore, I vomited and I vomited. Oh, just hearing the sound, I thought it was literally just you literally just splashed your head into the water and just screamed. The things I'd seen in the cabin were far too much for me to handle. I tossed the arm. Morgana's arm. The man had given me into the lake. What else was to do with it? It was an arm. A human arm. It'd be insane to go around carrying someone's severed arm like that. Yeah, I don't blame you for that part. I tried to convince myself it was all a dream. Some terrible nightmare. I could still feel the warmth of her skin fresh in my hands. The warmth of her blood on my fingers, dragging me back to reality. My mind couldn't keep up with the flood of thoughts and emotions and images. I wanted to close my eyes, but I was too afraid I would find the bloodbath in the cottage in the back of my eyelids. It was left me nothing to do but wail. I was horrified at what I had done. I knew that I was the one that set it all in motion. If I kept quiet, Morgana wouldn't have had her arm cut off. But I didn't want to admit it was my fault. Didn't want to accept that I caused it. I did nothing wrong. It's not my fault. He threatened me. It's not my fault. I had no choice. I didn't do anything. I frantically scrubbed my blood-soaked clothes in the lake. As I watched the red cloud spread, I knew it was defiling something pure and beautiful, but my awareness of that fact was slowly dissipating like the blood through the clear water. By the time I'd gotten all the blood off my clothes, the sun was beginning to set. I came back to my senses of the sound of bird chirping, and quickly recalled that I left Nellie alone at the house. My legs were shaking and I could barely keep myself upright. Remembering her gave me enough motivation to drag myself back home. Because again, it was all for her sake. And it led to a whole slippery slope down to it. To him now, anyway. If she hadn't been there waiting for me, I seriously might have thrown myself into the lake instead. Into the lake. Into the lake. Mell? What's the matter, dearest Mell? Where have you been? Mell? I'm so sorry. What? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Will you ever be able to forgive me? Dearest Mell? I never meant for this to happen. I'm so sorry. Please, I'm begging you to forgive me. I'm begging you. Were you not able to get my medicine? Is that what you're crying about? It's not that big a deal, Mell. I'm just fine. Honest. I'm alright. Thanks. I'm not even gonna bother to say what exactly fucking happened, so I'm just lie to her like that, I guess. Yeah, basically. I wanted to forget everything. I wanted to forget about my own involvement, the horrible things I caused to happen. But whenever I lied down to sleep, I heard her screams, Morgana's animalistic howls. I saw her cottage. Blood splattered everywhere. I felt her severed arm, still warm my hands. That day on, what sleep I got was hardly restful. Nellie probably didn't notice anything through her feverish haze. When I went to bed, it looked like hell. Praying time would cause the memory to fade. I started looking for doctors again. Say clinging to a miracle, I'd try to have Nellie's sickness cured the way the normal people did. At some point, though, all that money I'd been given started running low. If I'd thought about it for 2 seconds, I would have seen it coming. I hadn't exactly been frugal in my attempts to find a cure for Nellie, nor had I been especially concerned about money before she fell ill. I was so used to living as an aristocrat, but I hadn't succeeded in breaking those old habits, which left me with only one thing I could do for Nellie: be with her day in and day out. Every day that passed, I lost a little more hope. If I couldn't do anything and Nellie died, I would be utterly alone. And that was what scared me more than anything. The nightmares were eating away at me, leaving me with nowhere to run. And if I didn't have somewhere there with me, I wouldn't have been able to hold myself together. After 3 or so days of me sitting by Nellie's bedside, hardly moving, there was a knock at the door. Who's there? Who is it? Open the door. Unless you want me to kick it down. Ugh. My suspicion was correct. No longer naive now. It's the growth of experience, isn't it? You're growing up in the worst way possible now, aren't you, Mell? I couldn't think of anyone else who could come visit. But what I didn't know was why you'd come back. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Open the door. Leave me alone, please. I want nothing to do with anything you're doing. Open the door. I'm not letting you in for any reason. Okay then, I'll break it down. Don't. My sister's inside sleeping. I don't need you waking her up. Then open it. What do you need? I did everything you asked me to already. What happened to the witch's arm? I threw it away. You really think I was gonna keep that? A person's arm? Mell, what's going on? Do we have a visitor? Nellie, I should get them something to drink. Oh, I should get them something to drink. No, don't worry about it, Nellie. You get some sleep, alright? Can we go outside? I'd rather not talk in here. Fine by me. And thus the business deal was concocted. So that's your sister. Explains why you look so much alike. That's none of your damn business. You wanted the miracle blood to cure your sick sister, did you not? And you're telling me you threw the arm away. Are you interested in getting more blood? What? We're taking the witch's blood, turning it into medicine and selling it through the church. Selling it? You're doing business in a house of worship? No. I suppose we're technically giving it away. But we're asking for teeth, so it's really the same thing. I'm not from this land, so to me, it looks no different than a business. People here, they see as charity. The Lord says if you will assist us, He'll provide you with the medicine you were making. The Lord? Why would the Lord be... Hell if I know. It seems like good money. So as long as Lilium is part of the job or doing the bloodlust, whatever else, or being slightly paid for it, then why not? I was told to do it. I was asked to. So will you help us? You're gonna make me get my hands dirty for you again? I can't. Not again. Alright. I forgot to mention one detail. You don't have a choice this time. So it's either the choice was Nilly dies, or Lily just follow along with the plan, but now there's no choice. You're doing it. You're being blackmailed now. Huh? You know about the miracle blood, which means we can't let you go unattended. If you say no, I have permission to the Lord to kill you on the spot. Why? So will you help us? Or we die here. What was the right thing to do here? Should I have fought back and died? Should I try to run? Should I take into my own life? I'm sure you heard enough to know by now. I'm a weakling, a pushover. Didn't the spina do anything but agree to meet with the Lord? He told me about the mansion and gave me one of a set of 3 keys. To be honest, like, it could just be maybe I'm also just a pushover a tiny bit as well, but like, what could you realistically do in this situation, I guess? I guess you would have to like push for it, but like, that guy definitely already showed like how bloodthirsty or just like quick in the draw he is to like cause that much pain and destruction. So like, why wouldn't you think if you just say no and try to hash out negotiation or whatever else, that he would just kill like you in the spot and then Nelly or whatever else. So yeah, I don't know what else you could do, at least from what little I know, even from it, like going from his perspective and what we know from the other two, at least at this point in time. I want so badly to get rid of the key, with that man's shadow constantly hanging over me. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Not when I could be the next one to end up losing a limb or two. There's no way I could have disobeyed them. And that's everything that happened 6 months ago. And every day since I arrived here, I've brought Morgana breakfast and supper. She doesn't say anything, but I saw in her eyes the first time I stepped through that door. How could you do that to me? Never looked her in the eyes since, because I'm too afraid of what I might see in them. Yeah, at least so far you're the more sympathetic of the 3 anyway. It was always that way from the start, but yeah, still. And that is how I ended up here. Pretty heavy stuff, isn't it? Like, just having just imagining like it's been hours of telling the same story and now it's like in the middle of a straight night. So he was threatened. He didn't actually want to cause Morgana harm. That doesn't excuse what he's done, though. No, not really. It's more understanding and more sympathetic, though. That's the only thing that's different. The only thing that's different. See, what did I tell you? I'm not at all the brother you thought I was. Mock me. Ridicule me. Call me worthless, a coward, a terrible person. Go on, what are you waiting for? But your friend, Mell. He said he would hurt me, hurt you. That's the only reason you went along with him. You didn't do anything wrong, dearest Mell. The other man is the bad guy, not you. Oh boy. I wonder, like, is this, like, that's the one thing. I hope they're actually, like, in a weird way, like, in a story, like, it's meant to be all about, like, showing sympathy to everyone else. I'm kind of hoping there isn't, like, you know, everyone is, like, like, there's no true bad guy whole thing here. Like, I've seen stories that do this whole thing of, like, someone does something bad or kills someone else, and there's a whole revenge plot towards that, and showcase that off, that they're sympathetic as well. Like, I like those kind of stories and seeing those and appreciate that, but I don't see exactly from how, what we know the other two, that at least so far, how it could be to that. Like, it must be, like, some weird tightening around it, like some other thing going on that shows that Jacopo is literally just wants to do something else. Like, what exactly, like, does he get out of this besides the miracle blood? Like, what, is Maria sick as well? I doubt that. She definitely doesn't seem like she would be that like, be in that position, honestly, from everything going on. What little we know. Especially seeing what of her, honestly. But then, what else would it be besides, like, you know, getting some money out of it or whatever else? What is sympathetic out of that from Drakapa's perspective? Going up from Yukimaza next. What is there? The terrible man forced you to do everything. Nelly, you didn't do anything wrong, dearest Mell. No, I didn't. I didn't do anything wrong. I had no choice. But the fact you did nothing at all means it's also doing wrong. There's the whole thing about inaction cause things to happen. But at the same time, like I won't say like I've been like a period of inaction just from the last year or so alone. But there's like because it was forced onto me because of business or whatever else, and other matters that happen in life which I'm still getting over, mental health wise and whatever else. Hopefully I'll actually, like, it's probably be better more since I talked about that during when I get through Echo and Human Echo, honestly. You know. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Same going on with Mell, honestly. Like, there's some relatability going on there as well. Like, dear God. That's not true. All you're doing is closing your eyes. What? You mustn't coddle yourself. What was I supposed to do then? Don't be mean to my Mell. Did you really do the best you could? Did you even once try to do something about the situation, as hopeless as it may have seemed? Could you not even conceive of any other options? Could you not come up with anything else to say at Morgana's house? Something might have given her the slightest clue she was in danger? But when she opened the door, did you do anything? Did you even so much attempt to stop him? My legs are shaking so bad I couldn't move. There's no way I could have stopped him. At the very least, you shouldn't have fled. You should have stayed and told her the truth. That you weren't there willingly, and maybe she wouldn't have felt so utterly betrayed. But he was there. You think I could have actually stayed there with him? Not a chance. It's not like Morgana would have. She opened the door because she trusted you. She isn't the easiest person to read, but she was opening up to you. By opening up that door, it's symbolic, don't you understand? Mell, it's coming from you? And what did you do with that trust? Stop it, please, you made your point. It's not all Mell's fault either. If anything, he's a victim. He was just trying to protect me. Were you listening to anything he said, Nelly? You were not Mell's first priority. He did what he did for his own sake. Well, what do you expect me to do? Pull courage I don't have out of thin air? What's so wrong with self-preservation? There's nothing I could have done to stop him. I'd let us see you try and do any better. But maybe you understand how scared I was, how little I could have done. It must be nice to be an outsider. Talk about my experiences like you know anything. Analyze my decisions going about what I should have done. You don't have a damn clue how terrifying it all was. How I felt going to have to do any of it. Oh yeah, you're right. It sure would be the courageous thing to do to sacrifice your life for someone else. Yeah, it's the whole thing of some people just like watching horror movies where seeing the protagonist do stupid decisions, honestly. But literally in that position, you'd probably be just as terrified and scared as well, and probably make similar decisions as well. I kind of like how the first Scream movie did it, honestly. They make a whole big point of like satirizing, honestly, of a scene of a main character literally just saying, "Why would you do this?" instead of like walk to the front door? It's insulting. But then the next scene is literally killer shows up. Main character tries to go to the front door. It's locked. So in an effort to get some distance away and actually get a better action, honestly, want to preserve your own life for a bit longer, run upstairs. Probably the least advantageous thing you can do, but in the position, it was the closest thing you could do. Run upstairs and lock yourself in a room and do things from there. Like, yeah. It sounds absolutely stupid and pointless in the moment, like hearing it like emotionlessly after the fact, but in the moment, it's fucking terrifying. It doesn't sound like there's anything much you can do decision-wise. Or a whole bunch of things stacking on top where it felt like you couldn't have any decision. Like, just because you aren't, like, personally involved or afflicted from it, like, yeah, there is that. there is that going on. Plus, again, like, even, like, Mell bringing up, like, seeing you could have done better, like, again, Michelle, like, you literally, spent, like, a solid decade doing nothing, honestly, and not trying to do anything better. It just sounded like more, doing all of that the same way, yeah. Like, the smallest, indecisions, honestly, stopping you, which I don't blame you at all. Like, I don't even know if there's someone out there who can manage to pull themselves up like that by their own self, unless they, like, actually sat down and, like, force themselves to do that day by day. I mean, if, like, someone was absolutely depressed and they didn't have, like, a support system, honestly, or anything to help them out with it, like, not even, like, medication, antidepressants, honestly, to help them out through it, like, raise their spirits a tiny bit, or anyone out there to actually help along with it, would they be able to get themselves out of the situation? Or, like, think of, like, a good routine? Like a doctor or anyone else to help, I guess, figure out, like, a good way to get out of those bad habits and try to get yourself out of that state of mind, out of the depression. What even could you do if, like, you've been doing things normally, you try to do things differently, subtly, from your own knowledge, and that isn't good enough? What do you do then? What do you do then? You try going to other people, that doesn't help. Or you have a giant inkling that it won't help at all, you've seen it happen firsthand, so what do you do then? Maybe another thing entirely if Mell did everything exactly, like, I guess, according to plan, like, told her what was going on, but, like, she still felt betrayed anyway. But at that point, what can you do? Eh. So I want to see more stories actually tackle that whole thing, like, be more and more and more ambiguous and morally gray. Where not even the truth is good or bad or anything like that. I'll keep saying that to the day I die. Oh yeah, you're right. It sure would be the greatest thing to do to sacrifice your life for someone else. But you know what? People like that only exist in stories. Or they just have they put that much onto it, honestly. Or, like, actually, no, it's actually kind of worse that the people who actually probably think that way are people honestly don't value themselves as much as often, honestly. So it's almost in the same sense of way, suicide in a sense. Being a martyr. Self-sacrificing. Except you don't actually understand that. You just want to give me crap for not being perfect. Do you want my pity? Is that all you want? If I tell you I feel bad for you and oh how hard it must have been, will that satisfy you? Do you not want to know what you can do now? That's the next step, honestly. Like, if you offer help, like, latch onto it and try to get better from there. That's actually verbatim what's happening with me right now. What's even left to do? Nothing I do is going to make her situation any better. It won't make her arm come back. All is not yet lost. Open your eyes. Take a good, long look inside yourself. Think about what you can do. Stop sitting in your hands telling yourself it's too late. There's still time to make a difference. You just have to commit to act. I don't think you're an especially bad or cowardly person. I think you're an ordinary young man. It might sound like I'm telling you to do the impossible. But soon the time will come when you must make your choice. When you must stand up and take some responsibility for what you've done. No one's childhood lasts forever. The good days are long behind you before you ever realize they passed. When faced with the consequences of your actions, you should not have turned and run, but held yourself accountable. It is perhaps a disproportionately large burden for you to bear now, but it's fast approaching, and you need to make a decision. Find your courage. Set Morgana free. Mell. Mell. But, you know, if I open the door for her, it's a little too late. She'll never forgive me after... Is her forgiveness the reason you should act? No, it's penance for what you've done to her. Atonement for your sins. Whether she forgives you or not is beside the point. The question on the table right now is whether you are gonna do the right thing. And what about her blood? Without Saint's blood, Nellie won't... You don't have to worry about me, dearest Mell. My life isn't so important that I want to take someone else's away to keep it. I'll think about what I can do to help too. It's partially my fault too, after all. So please, Mell, set the Saint us free. Your quiet life is built on a foundation of lies. And I know that by now, you've realized there's no real value in a life like that. You want to do something about this. You sought salvation. Salvation? Who would give it to me? I already told you I would. But why? Because I promised you. And that's it. That's only it. Nothing else. You expect me to believe that? Yes. If you choose to sit here and wallow in your regret, there's no going back. Now is your only chance to make a change. Mell. Alright. I'll help. I'll help you set her free. Dearest Mell, I knew all along that was what I needed to do. I could never bring myself to act on it. There's no way I could accomplish anything alone. I'm basically helpless on my own. Everything about this is so completely outside anything I've ever had to deal with before. So I had no way of having an idea what I was supposed to do about it. God can be pretty cruel. Oh yes. Why would he force a boy like me to make such a difficult choice? Yes, he can be. You're made to be part of a more normal, less tumultuous world. But you've come too far to go back to that. So the least you can do is change the world you're in now. Yeah. I doubt I need to remind you, but you know, you can't get in with only my key. Well, I wonder if we can just, thinking about it now, why can't we just, pick the lock, honestly? I know there's that, but I know symbolically to go through that too. And, like, the one thing I'm wondering, I feel like we can, sort of, maybe, we could honestly, maybe, in a sense, like, convince Jacopo as a lord and all that, maybe, but, like, how exactly do you convince, Yuki Mods, the swordsman here, actually, to do that, actually? He's very bloodthirsty. He would probably want that to come out, well, without the fact that, the townspeople, I guess, like, killed him and all that. There is that, but, like, how do you convince that to change? How do you convince his mind to change, honestly, if he is completely fine with what's happening, has no regret or remorse over it? Like, that's interesting. I would love to see how the story, like, does that. How to get someone who, like, I guess, if you want to go by it, someone by their very own nature doesn't feel like it's bad. How do you change their mind? How do you do that? That's certainly a question, like, I've been thinking about, like, for a while. Someone is dead set on it. How then do you just change their mind? Well, there's not really just them to passively just hand over the key anyway, or literally just, like, absolutely just change a stubborn mind, honestly, or, like, what they enjoy, or, like, what they think is true, and, like, what is true, honestly, and just do it that way. I'm more curious about how they do that in the story, honestly. I wonder if they do it convincingly there, the second act, then I'll get another step forward to see why so many people love this story, like, a lot. I could definitely see why people, like, say this is a masterpiece so far, but if that, like, if literally how they go about Yukimaza, like, convinces me, like, that could happen, then that will also just be another great step for me to see why people love this so much more. Why? I mean, technically stories are kind of like that in a sense as well, but they'd be, like, suspending your disbelief, so it makes it believable to the audience, so it's almost like being a convincing argument in a sense as well. So, convince me, persuade me, evoke my own heartstrings, and let's see how it goes further. We need all three, and the other two, they don't feel an ounce of remorse. Taking their keys won't be easy. Easy or not, we have to get them. I'm sure there's a way. There must be. Just so we're clear, you're not going to overpower them. No dip, Sherlock! The guy with the sword's much stronger than you, and he knows how to use a blade. Oh, if only, Michelle, you went to a gym, honestly, when you were in your, like, decades-long solitude. If only. If only. And he's the Lord's bodyguard, so you're not gonna get near the Lord either. Well, that was already thinking in my head, like, because we already have an end through you and Nelly, both because a certain someone lives with Nelly, we could just talk to the nun and get through her to him. Although, what was it? Does Michelle not actually know the nun actually is tied to Yukimaza? Do they know? Or was that only just like those in between shots of him like, this is what Mell and Nelly are doing, this is what the nun and Yukimaza are doing? Like, was that something that Michelle saw as well, or only just us? Only the viewer and the audience? Even the two of us together wouldn't stand a chance against him. You seem pretty weak from the looks of you. Who knows, maybe I am stronger than you? Arm wrestling contest, go, come on! God, I really do want to hit this boy. What the? He's bantering, okay? Jesus. Deep breaths, Michelle, deep breaths. There must be somewhere we can get their keys. Pickpocketing! I know they both have people they're close to. Huh? People they're close to? We can talk about that later. Now that you made your decision, talking with me isn't your top priority, is it? Mell. Nelly. I'm sorry for involving you in all this. And I'm really sorry for being, well, what I am. I'm no prince, that's for sure. You always were my prince, though, dearest Mell. You did your best to be the brother I wanted you to be. Honestly, I adored the way you fawned over me. All that affection just felt so good. What? It made me feel like I was special. Important. Well, that's kinda normal. Yeah, that's completely fine. Having someone to care for, to pamper, it was empowering. Yeah, I've seen even some nurses that actually, like, say, like, that's, like, some nurses getting a job, like, say that's what they like to do. Not even, like, I guess you can call them, I guess, a bit more, they want to be empowered, honestly. Or just, like, they enjoy caring for someone else, but, like, yeah, that's a common thing. And that's the kind of guy your brother is. If someone else, some other girl, whatever, to show up and call me her prince, say she loved me, I'll probably try and act like a prince for her, too. Why would you say that? Because all this has been so hard on me. It's a huge weight on my shoulders that every so often I would think, just how much easier would it be if I could get rid of her? And Morgana was just a regular girl, not a saint or a witch or any of that. Just a pretty girl about my age. She might have been the one getting all my attention instead of you. That's who I am. That's not you, dearest Mell. You're just beating yourself up. Divided attention? Maybe you would have chosen her over me, but that wouldn't make you any less of a kind man. How can you say that after everything I just told you? Because, Mell, Tell me how despicable I am, Nelly. I'm not the brother you once adored anymore, am I? You're not what I thought you were, but you're still my one and only brother. That will never change, no matter how kind of a person you become. It was wrong of me to try and make you into my prince, Mell. I should never have done my job as your one and only sister in the whole wide world. Been there to help you as much as you helped me. I kept pushing my fairy tale fantasies onto you, and you did your best to live up to them, and I ended up forcing you to pretend to be someone you're not. It's not true, Nelly. I enjoyed feeling idolized. But you knew it wouldn't last forever, didn't you? I shouldn't have been beside you, not looking up at you. I let you coddle me, I let myself indulge in your love. I thought everything would be alright as long as you kept telling me how adorable I was. They were like magic words to me. kept my eyes shut. Mell, starting today, I'm gonna do my best to be your sister. I'm all done holding you to fairy tale ideals. There's a part of me that wonders if she's actually gonna start talking more about him. So Mell, I kind of have feelings for you in that way, or literally that's literally just only what Morgana construed, honestly. Even that conversation with Michelle at their house in the cottage, it sounded that way a tiny bit. So I wonder if they're gonna address that. I wouldn't make you pretend to be a prince for me anymore. And I won't try to be your princess either. I'm just gonna be your little sister. So get back on your feet and stand tall, dearest Mell. I know you'll probably have to pay for what you've done when the Saintess goes free. I know I'll probably cry about it for days. But I won't regret making a decision. Well, I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting you to handle this so maturely. You're putting your big brother to shame, Nelly. Mother once told me that girls grow up faster than boys. Wow, how funnily enough my sister even brought that same conversation up earlier, jokingly, but still. That's so funny. She was right about that. Thank you, Nelly, for accepting me, in spite of all the awful things I've done. And for having me as your brother. You're quite welcome, dearest Mell. Daw. So am I still, your second brother then, apparently, then Mell? Nelly? God damn it. Well, looks like that's one problem solved. They finally reached the point in their relationship where they belong. If she could have come to terms with herself sooner, come to understanding with him, then maybe she could have reeled in her ideals before she lost control of them. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe literally just the fact that she was holding on to her ideals, or like she felt like she can only latch onto him, was what caused, I guess, those feelings in the future, I guess, or like those other, the Door 1 tragedy, I guess. This Nelly and the other Nelly seem to be the same essence. They both have a, somewhat excessive love for their brothers. That love expresses itself by transforming him into a prince. If she could have done the same thing then as she did here, then maybe the tragedy could have been avoided. This is before then, though. Since they were able to fix things up in this life, maybe they'll have a positive effect on their next life. This could change their future. Who even knows if this actually is, we're actually back in time, and this is actually going to change the whole tragedy from the thinning out. We're at the foundation of what caused the house to form, honestly, of the fate of Morgana, honestly. Wait, no, sorry, not of Morgana, the house that's inside of Morgana herself, of inside Fata Morgana. Again, I'm still probably not going to get over that in or of distinction, honestly. I mean, again, it took me up until like a certain part of this, like these episodes, honestly, before realizing, oh shit! At a certain point, I started misnaming the title. The House of Fata Morgana. It's actually the house in Fata Morgana. I'm still not gonna get over that. They may share the same souls. They lived in completely different times. Yeah, the circumstances are slightly differently. Do you really think something like this could have had any effect on the lives of people hundreds of years from now? Well, there's no way to be certain, of course. Considering how tightly the two seem to be bound, I doubt it will have no effect. I hope it has some effect. Giselle. I was there, in the mansion, as it all happened. Firsthand, yeah. And I just stood by and watched. I feel so guilty about that. If I had done something, then maybe it wouldn't have turned out like that. I hate what I was then. What I was until just recently. The memories left imprinted throughout the mansion. I showed you bits and pieces of their lives, but told you their tale. The only thing it contributed was disparaging commentary. I don't feel like you were that critical of them. I absolutely was. I talked about them like they were somehow beneath me. Well, yes, you did occasionally offer an opinion on someone or something you showed me beyond the doors. The fact that you're mostly detached from the events there has allowed me to get to the core of their characters. If you hadn't been in the position you were, so you could tell me the story the way you did, I would never have been able to talk them into helping. Be the neutral observer, honestly, even if you're the very slightest 0.00001% unreliable narrator, or very judgmental. You contributed more than criticism. Easy constructive criticism. Your words weren't for nothing. They made this possible. It makes me feel a lot better, hearing that from you. If you still regret your inaction, then make up for it now by taking action here, and have faith that it will bear fruit in their next lives. I will. I wonder if Morgana might have changed of heart too. It's not like Mell wouldn't bring her so much pain. He deeply regrets what he did, so maybe she won't bear quite as much resentment for him when she learns that. It'd probably just be a whole thing again, like, she understands that and might be conflicted about that. I wouldn't even be surprised that she still hated them, honestly, like, to that level. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised. Probably be a bit lessened, but still a lot of hatred. A lot to hold on to then, still. Yes, I know what you're gonna say. That was enough to massage her. She wouldn't have held on to her hatred for all those hundreds of years. Still, though, I hope it does something for her, however small. As do I. It's, gotten pretty late, so I'm gonna take Nelly back to the cottage. Okay. If you have some secret plan to get to their keys, could you fill me in on it tomorrow? Sure. Also, I could get you another room if you wanted. This one is the nicest. You gave it to us on purpose? Ha! Oh, that's still funny. No, it's fine. I couldn't realize I'm more at home in less comfortable environments. Sadly. Michelle. Am I just imagining it, or was that as depressing as it sounded? Yes, no. That's not quite what I was going for. No, it's true, honestly. It's true, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, it is, honestly. I kind of relate to that tiny bit, too. Slowly, hopefully in the future, I just make that's unrelatable. Hopefully. Well, anyway, if you're fine with it, suit yourself. Say, I got one huge lingering question, if you wouldn't mind enlightening me. Yes? Why would you go to such lengths for me? Selfish. Maybe. Well, it's not selfish, technically speaking. They came here. It technically is honestly selfish, but it's like in a way of like him trying to help someone else. Right, Michelle? Yeah? You seem to know Morgana, so I can understand why you would be fighting for her. But me? I had a part in putting her in the tower. You have every reason to hate me. So why would you want to help me? If this is all it took for me to hate someone, I would curse every last man and woman in the world. I bear no animosity for you. And if I did, you committed to take action. That doesn't explain why you're so concerned about us. It almost seemed like you actually cared about me and Nelly. But we're complete strangers. We just met today. I got a glimpse into your futures, the crystal ball. Ooh, wagging, wiggling fingers over the ball. Because some part of me couldn't think of you as strangers anymore. Huh? That's right, when we came by this afternoon to talk, you didn't feel like a stranger to me either. It was weird, like you know me my whole life. So I made him to my second brother. Your second brother? You're more than welcome to change the order, Nelly. Make it number 2 and me number 1. Be 1.5. Oh, I wish to join and be a big sister number 1. I have to think about it. After all that, you might be number 1 material. Whoa, why is it even up for consideration? I'm just kidding, dearest Mell. Oh, I see. Because you had a reaction, you do care. Point fingers. I'm still kind of confused, but anyway, I'm glad someone like you showed up. And you could have lost this shit because you killed me in a different timeline. But it never happened. Of course not. That never happened. Don't worry about it. I've actually been praying every night for God to send someone who can get me out of this. And then you were trying to literally disparage them immediately on day 1, apparently. I really am useless all on my own. Constantly looking for someone to help me. Unable to do anything by myself. And trust me, I realize how pathetic that is. Yeah, I can't quite lie and say it's relatable, yes. Now you must have a pretty good life, so to be able to be so proactive in the face of adversity. I bet you had everyone's respect, helped people in need, had plenty of friends who had your back, and weren't tossed out by your family like I was. Oh, that's funny. You must have been incredibly blessed. I'm jealous, really. Sorry that came out of nowhere, I know. Well, I should be going. See you tomorrow. Good night, Michelle, brother number 2. Good night. So how do you make of that, Michelle? How do you make of it? How do you make of it? How do you make of it? Michelle, he wasn't trying to be... Yes, I know. I just thought it was rather funny. Oh yeah, no, it's kind of funny. It's just very ironic. It's just very funny. I'm not taking a stand because I've been blessed, but because I've got nothing left to lose. I fight for Morgana because I understand what it's like to be tortured day after day. Having experienced the loss of my siblings, didn't want the two of them to go through the same thing. If anything, it's those who have lost the most that are most likely to take action. I'm not sure if you realize it or not, Michelle. But you've gotten to be a great deal more expressive since arriving in this era. For a brief second I thought you were just gonna say, you just more charismatic and more lovable this way. I don't know why. That was my next thought, honestly. Well, it's probably still true anyway, because as we're going through all this, slowly be more appreciative, I guess. I can't see your face, but I can hear in your voice, and I can feel in your presence. Some shirts showing there too, making all sorts of faces I've never seen before. Some of the things you've lost, you seem to be getting back. So you can't say you've got nothing left to lose anymore. Promise me you'll let me see all these new faces for myself someday. I will. I promise. If we can manage to destroy the mansion, that should release you from its darkness, and allow us to see each other once again. I trust you. I have faith we can do this. Wait, with the mansion's destruction, both our souls should be returned to their rightful places. So we're not changing, again, are we in the reality and weirdly back in time and all that? Or are we just in a reconstruction of the mansion itself? Would any of this even matter by the end? Would it? Which would mean erased from existence. Giselle? What? I just thought I sensed you grimacing. Wow, you felt that? What's the matter? Sorry, I didn't want to bring down the mood. I heard your thoughts too. Just, well, I know this is asking for the moon, but I'm just thinking it would be nice if you had a light you could go back to. If I did? Yeah, I mean, here you are, expressive as you've ever been, walking around outside, being around other people, talking to them after all that time in the mansion, without a life of your own to go back to. There has to be some, like, I guess, conclusion or payback for that, though, right? I'm sorry. After seeing behind your door, and learning how cruel and inhumane life was to you, I feel like the world could stand to do something good to make up for it. It's done all the good it needs to. I have someone who cares enough to lament my fate. What more can I ask for? Michelle. Thank you, Giselle. You're not the only one who's asking for the moon, either. I wish I could have a life with you as the person I am now. And for that, knowing I have no future feels worse now than ever before. Feels worse when you have something else to live for now. It's a reason to live and a reason to keep on going. Alrighty, that's enough moping around for one night. We should start planning for tomorrow. Things are definitely looking up. It only took one day to get Mell on our side, so it's gotta be one day at a time. We focus on one person each time, and we don't multitask. Obviously, we only go one by one. Only one by one. In order. Only in order. Because we went through the doors in order, so we gotta do this in order as well. Obviously, it's sequence. If we sequence break it, the entire thing falls apart, like a Jenga tower. You know, get one piece out at a time, honestly, in a specific order. It's only gonna work that way. Only then. Only then. So let's keep it up and win over the other two. I would certainly like to, yes. Pshaw, where'd all the confidence go? The other two won't be nearly as easy to convince as Mell, because you're kind of appealing to emotional side with Mell, how do you appeal to them on those two? Because one is more, you know, again, sadistic and bloodthirsty, and the other one, again, probably more rich and wants more power. How do you appeal to that when you don't have anything in your name back in this time? How do you do that? I'm not sure if we'll be able to talk them into helping. Well, we do have a pretty good idea the swordsman is in this for the nun. So maybe we can get to him through her, like we did today with Nelly and Mell. Maybe. Alright, then we'll stop by approaching her tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. The Lord, though. Him, I'm not so sure about. Honestly, yeah, it was the back of my mind as well entirely as well. I think we know the least about him, honestly. Or because, like, he puts up a giant mask on everything. Like, to be, I guess, tough, honestly. Even to the point of being blatantly misogynistic. I don't know. I just don't know how to deal with that. At all. Because, again, it's a whole other thing if someone doesn't want to be helped, want to get help, or doesn't think they need help, or everything they're thinking is right and true, what do you do to break them out of that? Again, it's a question I keep bringing up. I think even like to start this channel again. It's one thing. It's one thing at all. The Lord, though, him not so sure about. Assuming he's from behind the third door. But we didn't run into anyone else he was close with today. Fata Morgana's telling of the events of the Harvest Festival. She only mentioned 5 people. Let's see. The Lord, the Swordsman, Mell, Nelly, and the Nun. There's one person unaccounted for. Maria! 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 Again, everything along with her and Jacopo is going to be a toss-up in the air. It's gotta be. We just haven't run into them yet, that's all. If he's the man from the third door, I can't imagine she won't be here, too. Who's losing their confidence now? In any event, tomorrow we'll talk to the nun. I only hope it goes as well as it did today. You got me. You don't have anything to worry about. You got a second mind, a second head to toss ideas back and forth with. Even in my own mind, talking to you spiritually, telepathically, superpowerly. Or all things considered, you might not even need me. No, I wouldn't say that. You handled Mell pretty amazingly, though. Yeah, there was not, like, just how everything was phrased, honestly, with Nelly the First. It sounded like I'm, you the play intermediary, but, like, yeah. It sounded like everything just went about just fine, just going back and forth between the two. But now I'm curious for a game that actually does that sort of mechanic where you have to, like, step in to make sure everything goes well and fine. Instead of, like, they both need to talk about it. Like, imagine someone, like 2 characters have, like, neuroses, which they go and do this or that, and they can't get over it just yet, and you have to play intermediary to smooth it over until they can get over it. Like, slowly help a hurdle over a hurdle, honestly. Like, just from hearing that tease, I guess, of a game mechanic for this game, though, makes me wonder how that would work. That sounds interesting to see. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, my heart was pounding the whole time. I was afraid you were gonna slip up and say something boneheaded. But you managed to keep it together. I didn't have to come to the rescue. Well... I can make a book of quotes out of your performance today. A giant book, okay. Well, does that mean technically this, entire story just be several novels lengths over? I bet, like, Higurashi is way longer than this. But I'm wondering how many words this game in total has. Whether it includes the bad endings or not. Whether how quick or long they are. So I'm not concerned at all. Say whatever you think is the right thing to say. I'm more than happy to sit back and watch. As an observer. The more you pile my expectations, the more afraid it makes me that I'm gonna trip up. Besides, I don't think I could have done any of that without you. Why not? You're by my side right there. Pat pat, pot on your invisible little head. Well, my life was hardly as pride-worthy as Mell seemed to think. So I didn't really feel like I had a right to talk to him like that. But knowing you were there, urging me on, was what allowed me to act without hesitation. So, thank you. No thanks necessary. But if you say so, then you're more than welcome. I'm glad I could be of assistance, if just a little. That you were. Now let's keep this momentum up tomorrow. It's getting a bit late though, so you should probably get some sleep. I don't need sleep, however, since I'm just attached to you as a ghost. What is it? I kinda don't want to sleep. But why not? For somewhat childish reasons. Oh, are you sad you won't be able to hear my voice? Are you lonely, you poor, poor dear? I am. What? That's the last thing I expected you to admit to. Okay, well, do you want me to stay up and talk to you for a bit longer then? Not too long, though. You do need a rest up for tomorrow. You don't want to be just, like, walk up to both a dangerous swords person and then talk to a nun, just be like, nodding off while you're, like, trying to convince them, honestly. That's not a great look at all. Not a great look at all. And who knows? Maybe I'll show up in your dreams if you wish hard enough. It'd be a weird lucid dream, apparently. That's sweet. The fact that I'm even able to talk to Giselle right now is a miracle and a blessing in itself. So, is it a variance for me to yearn for more, knowing I'm already being granted such a great bounty? I want to see her as much as she wants to see mine. She's infinitely more expressive than me, and I want a good, long look at all those many expressions up close. I want more than her voice. I want her whole body. I didn't want it to be that blunt, but okay. I want to feel her warmth. In this era, I have all 5 of my senses in full working order, as I did when I was alive. Giselle, though, she doesn't. She remains dead. As lively as she may be now, that's one thing she did not get back. I truly wish she could have been here too. She would have certainly found more joy in her renewed life than me here. And she certainly belonged to the sun far more than I do. But she, rather than me, was the one left behind in that realm of darkness. A fact that frustrates me immensely. In life, I would have considered a remark about seeing her in my dreams silly and saccharine, but now, I very much hope it happens. "3 days until her death." Now it's 2.